Welcome to this episode of Your Guide on Ghana. Today I am at the African Trade House, where it houses the Secretariat office of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Today is the official hoisting of the flag for the 6th region of Africa, which is the African Diaspora. So it's going to be an exciting morning as we really get to officially acknowledge with the flag the diaspora. Now, I did have an episode about the launching of the flag that was at the Diaspora African Forum a couple of months ago, but this one is really significant because it is officially being acknowledged by the African Union, here being at the African Continental Free Trade Area this morning. So let's get into the episode.
I stand here overwhelmed and grateful for the grace of God. This could not have happened without His mercy, His grace, and His favor. And so I just really want to say thank you to all of you in this room as well. And Secretary General, you really not just talk the talk, but you're walking the walk. You see, because you understand the importance of the diaspora. And the Diaspora Africa Forum is committed 100% to supporting what you're doing. So we have your back. So I want you to know we have your back. And when I say we, that's 250 million of us around the world. I just want to say thank you to the 3 presidents that brought us to this point. I'm so glad my brother from Mali is here. Please stand up, because I really want them to know you. He is one of the ones who really helped President Kanari make this happen. I remember sending you the letter that we wanted signed, and you got it signed. So I really want to say thank you to you and certainly President Kanari for his support when he was chair of the African Union Commission. So I really had to just publicly say that. And of course, President Wade from Senegal, President Kufuor.
It is a pleasure to have all of you here, ladies and gentlemen. We have been discussing this day for some time, myself and the Ambassador's office and the team at DEF, and I'm very happy that today we are able to finally meet. And I want to also join Ambassador in thanking those on whose shoulders we stand, President Konare, President Wade, President Kufuor, and others, who had the vision and the foresight to understand the importance of the diaspora within the political structures of the African Union, but also, of course, historically, as well as now at law, that the Constitutive Act of the African Union recognizes the diaspora as the 6th region of the African Union. It is significant that this is happening at the AFCFTA Secretariat because we have a historic mission. And the historic mission is to dismantle the pattern of trade, colonialist trade patterns that we inherited. It is to dismantle the over-reliance on the export of primary commodities to other parts of the world, and to make our continent competitive regionally and globally. We, as Africans, will not be able to achieve this without the collaboration and the support of the diaspora. We will require the support by way of exchange of technical experiences, exchange of international best practice, assistance in mobilizing capital, so that we are able to have a concrete program of action for supporting the diaspora in Africa, as well as us Africans supporting the diaspora in their diaspora, wherever they may very well be. Last week and the week before, I met with the diaspora in the UK and in the US, and my message was that we have made the very emotional speeches, we have made the rhetorical aspirations about how we want to work together as people of African descent outside of the continent and Africans on the continent. It is now time for us to shift to a higher gear and to do concrete things that can be tangible in the advancement of our aspirations. We have recently launched an AFCFTA Adjustment Fund. This AFCFTA Adjustment Fund will be directed to assisting countries that will lose revenue as they implement the AFCFTA. As they reduce tariffs, they will lose revenue. And so we want this fund to help these countries, not the governments of these countries, but productive sectors, whether it's textiles and clothing, which is predominantly a women-driven industry, or to assist the informal sector or the traders across borders. So it's not going to be a fund for the Minister of Finance to say, thank you very much, I need this for budget support. It is a fund for direct intervention in sectors of Africa's economy that will drive our continent for the next 20 to 30 years. This is an example of how we can work together to mobilize these resources that are required. We are also in the process of rolling out throughout the whole continent a Pan-African payments and settlement system. As you know, we have 42 currencies on our continent. If you are trading between Ghana and Kenya, you have to use a third currency. I will not mention the name of that third currency, but you use a third currency to trade in Africa. And so we've introduced a platform along with our critical partner, African Bank, and the platform will enable trading across borders in Africa using local currency. You will now be able to use the Ghanaian cedi when you trade with somebody in Kenya. They will receive the Kenyan shilling. This will help our small medium enterprises. It will help young entrepreneurs. Annually, our estimates are that the cost of currency convertibility is close to $5 billion. We don't know how much it costs them, as in small medium enterprises, young entrepreneurs. We don't know how much it costs them in terms of competitiveness and also in terms of efficiency and affordability of trade. We are now in discussions with African Bank and a few other Caribbean countries to have the first of its kind, an Africa-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum. This is an outcome of the summit that, again, the first of its kind, that summit between heads of states of the Caribbean and African heads of states, with the vision of President Akufo-Addo and President Kenyatta of Kenya and others. They had a summit for the first time. And the emphasis of that summit was, how do we move beyond the rhetoric, how do we move beyond the aspirations and ensure that there are investment and trade flows. And so with African Bank, we are working towards that event of placing our relationship at a higher gear through direct investment and trade. Now the big question is, where is the summit going to be convened in the Caribbean? And I, of course, have a bias for a particular island, which is the island of St. Lucia, because that is where my wife is from. And so we may all have to go to St. Lucia for the very first of its kind summit on trade and investment between Africa and the Caribbean. This is, for me, the start of a very important collaboration, and I look forward to continuing to work with everybody. I am here to serve you. I am already serving a diaspora in my house, and so I will extend that to serve the diaspora outside of my home, and I'm very appreciative that my wife is here voluntarily to support me in this journey. And so I want to thank all of you very much, and I look forward to us working together going forward. Thank you.
I want to join my colleague and brother, the Secretary General, in congratulating DAF and the leadership of this foundation for bringing this journey to this moment. I think it is very significant that we are celebrating this day and that we are performing this function. You in the diaspora, we believe, form a very integral constituent of the work that we are doing together on the continent. And the recognition, both in law and practically, to continue to collaborate with you by way of areas of investment, capital mobilization, bringing in the expertise and technical know-how. We in Ghana are very happy that this day has come. We're very excited also that it's happening here, the Africa Trade House, which is the headquarters of the AFCFTA. We're taking the very advantageous credit of this trade house, the Secretary General's headquarters being here in Accra, because it is fast making us the trade capital of Africa. And we're very excited about that. Ghana has been a long-standing harbinger of the integration process in Africa, politically and economically. And we'll continue to lend our support to the Secretary General, the Secretariat, and your foundation as well, to see how we move the collaboration between ourselves together for the benefit of all of our people. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
He conceived about 5 or 6 iterations of a flag. We didn't like this, add this, change this. And then he came up with what we have now as the diasporan flag for the 6th region. So it is my great privilege and pleasure to say, as stony the road that we trod, we are here because we now have an emblem that represents what our ancestors lived and died for. Please welcome Professor Ado to give us a few remarks.
Thank you very much. I'll just say a few words to wrap up and to give a very round approach and sense of why we are here today, but also to give us an understanding of the significance of having an identity, and for us to see how that also impacts the people near and far. I'll just simply like to say that the flag, as we all already know, is literally the identity. It needs us to galvanize and see from that point how we can identify and move as a people. It is obvious that the continent has got all these different economic regions well established. West Africa, with all the resources which have to be pulled together. North Africa, with all the sun, the energy, the oil to energize the whole continent. Southern Africa, to be handling all the mineral economics. East Africa, the seed capital because of all the grain and the survival instruments it has. And last but not the least, Central Africa, which is literally the lungs of the nation, where we have the crossings of all the ecosystems, water bodies, and the chunk of the forests. The idea was to make sure that whatever we do, we have a deep connect with the continent. That is why the evergreen color from the African Union flag has been directly adopted. And we've also tried to make sure we give a geographical delineation of the different economic blocks. Besides that, we have the 6th region, which is represented also in another star. And by the way, there are the 5 stars in the flag, which are also showing geographically the positioning of these areas. But the 6th region is the 6th golden star, which is also streaking towards the continent with an illuminating light to embrace it and also contribute in terms of its know-how with all the power and, of course, experience, which is going to play a very key role. We should mention that the diaspora is coming from the rest of the world, from around the globe. That is why we have the representation of the globe in the background. And we also have the significance of the gold color, which we all know already. It's not only representing our resources, but it goes further to represent the human resource and all the other material resources that are within us. The green, we know very well, it's still representing a strong idea for hope and for us to be more resilient, but it's also at the same time placing the idea of how we should take a very close look at our environment and our land, because all of this is all about land. So with the green, the gold, the black, which is naturally our identity, these colors come together on the backdrop of white so that we can see our way forward and present ourselves as a common force. In other words, the whole flag is literally beginning to signify Africa coming together as one. Thank you very much.
Ambassador Erica Bennett officially handed over the 6th region flag to the Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area and made sure that he understood the importance of letting the diaspora know that they are important and that they are included as part of Africa.
Ghana is not just a country, but it is a philosophy. And that is really today made even more remarkable that this flag is being presented to us in Ghana, a country that we know, as the minister said, has for many, many decades was at the vanguard of Pan-Africanism intellectually and philosophically. And so to have this convergence, the AFCFTA Secretariat being here, the ceremony of extending the flag to us by DAF being given to us as the Secretariat here in Ghana, I think is immensely significant. And so we will indeed fly the flag. We will fly it very high.
Thanks for watching this episode of Your Guide on Ghana. My name is Ivy Prosper, and I'll see you next time.